Hi everyone, how are you? Welcome to KarmaLight readings. I'm Alexandra, also known as Karma, and this is going to be a collective timeless read. We're going to take a look at what are you currently working through on a soul level. So you may look at this as shadow work, traumas, triggers, what's coming to the surface, what are you facing, what are you dealing with. Again, this is a timeless reading. If you're new here, welcome. Please make sure you subscribe, like, comment, and share. If at any time you resonate with this reading, please hit the like button so that you and I can have that exchange of energy. I'm going to start with my blessing and prayer and see what messages the Holy Spirit has for you. If you're interested in a personal reading, the links are in the description box below. Divine Holy Spirit, Divine Holy Spirit of the Most High, thank you for allowing me to be a clear channel of receiving messages for the collective in regards to their current shadow work and what is coming up to be released. I ask that these messages provide clarity, guidance, healing, and understanding, as well as a higher knowledge and perception into what karmic lessons, soul cycles, and generational curses they may currently be dealing with, about to deal with, need to become aware of, learn from, heal from, and release. Lord, in all that you are and all that you do and all that I am and all that I do, I live by your word and your word only. In Yeshua's name I pray, amen. There's something with your crown chakra. That's the card that came out. I feel like it's there seems to be some type of confusion in this collective, but it's a different it's a different type of confusion. But there's only one. No, here's what I'm seeing. It's like smaller. You have a hint and an idea, or you have received some form of clarity in regards to what's taking place in your life, but there's still more that needs to come forward. You feel that. So there's just this small hint and bubble of energy of clarity that is on its way to you. So let's see if we can get more details here. Holy Spirit, what is this collective dealing with in regards to current shadow work, soul lessons? What's coming for them, or what are they currently going through? Loosen your grip. Coping mechanisms, density, addiction, let God in. There are certain areas in your life that you're trying to have full control over, and some of you are in denial about how much it's keeping you blocked. And I'm actually feeling someone's heart chakra. You're feeling a pain here right now because you don't want to face the truth. I've been there. It's okay. You're not the only person. Whoever's watching this, for some of you, this may be in the past. For some of you, this may be right now. For some of you, you may not have even gotten to this point yet of acknowledging that there's something that you need to let go of that's holding you back. But I want all of you to know that none of you are the only person who's gone through what you're going through. We have all gone through, traumatic experiences and growth and denial and pain. And so I don't want any of you to feel alone. But I can tell you from my testimony and my own healing that allowing God, trying him out, if you've never tried God out before, trying him out can be super transforming, healing, liberating. It's freeing, it's life-changing, and I urge everyone to try. You have earth pulsing, pulse of the mother, slow down, time in nature. And then you have deep cellular healing, Arcturus energy, physical and emotional healing. So you are in the process of a deep transformation. I feel like some of you may be in the messy part, in the beginning stages where everything feels sticky like a web, and you're starting to recognize how everything is connected, but you don't know how to become disconnected, because if everything is connected, why is everyone telling me to become non-attached? I understand. We've all been there, but there is a way to be connected and not attached. And then you have big picture thinking, Pleiades energy, visionary, inspired ideas. All right. So trying to see things from a higher level, new earth. It's so funny because when I saw Pleiades energy, I was going to say like the new earth is coming, the collective is going through this transformation. And then the card underneath it is a new earth. It's happening. Keep holding the vision. So, and I'm going to pull other cards for each card that we pulled to clarify them. We're going to use a bunch of different decks for each card. But intuitively, what I just want to say to you guys right now, overall, what I'm getting here is the collective, planet Earth, we're going through a massive upgrade, right? We've been working our way from 3D because we're going to become 5D. We're not quite as a whole in 5D yet, but we are raising the collective consciousness. That is why so many of us simultaneously are going through such difficult, similar processes of transformation and healing. There are things that we have to just be okay with releasing. Outdated thinking, outdated beliefs, perceptions, what life is. We're needing to see things from a much higher picture and release ourselves from anything that is low vibrational. If it hurts you, if it confuses you, if it isn't the truth, if it doesn't feel right inside, you are supposed to walk away from it. This is how you align yourself. You don't need anything but yourself and God to become whole. Okay? There's a need for some of you to really, if you've been cooped up lately, or if you've been overworking, or you haven't had a moment to yourself, Spirit is asking you to go outside. That's why you have earth pulsing, barefoot, in grass or on land. If you can get to an ocean, there's just a real need to connect outside, maybe sitting and meditating and praying with the sun shining on you. Clarify earth pulsing, please. I'm just getting cards for each. Clarify deep cellular healing, please. But you're needing to slow down. There's something that you're trying to rush through. There's something that you're trying to rush through, that you're trying to, I think you feel like the faster you complete it, for some of you, you feel like it's a race. It's not a race, because you have to remember that time doesn't exist to God. Time only exists here. We've created time. There's no race. You are exactly where you are supposed to be at any given moment. Your free will is how the moment turns out. Which direction do you choose? Aligned with God or unaligned with God? Clarify Magician in the mirror with loosening your grip, please. Financial constraints and earth pulsing, please. Clarify. Indecision and deep cellular healing. If you're having problems financially, if you're having problems financially, just before I get all the cards, I just want to show you for earth pulsing, what came out to clarify it is financial constraints and cleanse. Okay. This has to do with your stability and your foundation. It has to do also with you grounding yourself and stabilizing yourself, and first figuring out you need to cleanse your beliefs and your views on finances here. Okay, let me get the other cards out, because I could just, that's the middle card, but I want to do, let's see here. Clarify these three cards, please. Magician in the mirror, surrender and loosen your grip. Earth pulsing, financial constraints, and cleanse, please, guys. Indecision, deep healing, peace and reversing rejection, please. All right. You have loosen your grip, Magician in the mirror, surrender, and journey. Camera wanted to flip over for this as well. Reminiscing, keepsake, perception. That's Magician in the Mirror. You're frustrated with how things are turning out in your life, or you're going through memories, you're going through cycles. And I feel like you're in this process right now on your journey where cycles and patterns are closing out, and you're learning from the past. You're learning from past mistakes. For a lot of you, you may even be learning to just look at surrender and free fall. It's like you need to let go and let God. You need to see where you are responsible for your own self and how things are happening, or why things turned out the way they turned out. This was in a reading I did today. Who was that? Maybe it was Sagittarius. I can't remember. Because you also have not enough. And I feel like if you are dealing with an addiction, if you are dealing with different types of coping mechanisms and not knowing how to surrender and really having a difficult time releasing shadows or memories or things that people did to you, that's a form of self-sabotage. That's a form of not feeling like you're good enough here with this not enough card. It affected your self-worth because of what other people said or did and put you through. And that's why it's so important for you to try God out and to let him in. For some of you, this may be resonating in the past where you were at this point and now you have progressed, okay? So there was a need here to surrender and deeply reflect on what was taking place in your life, what was a pattern, what was cycles, because this also gives me the number 8. So I see like a repetitive cycle taking place in your life. And for a while, there was no growth happening because you weren't allowing God to come in. Because what happens when you allow God to come in is you're able to close out past cycles and learn from them. It becomes a journey. It doesn't become like this difficult life situation. It becomes a beautiful journey because it's not about the destination. But what ends up happening is when you let God in, you realize how you don't need any validation from anyone. How that no matter what anyone says to you, it doesn't affect you, it doesn't become you, it doesn't change you, it doesn't harm you. That you're always enough. That's what the truth of God can do to you when you stand and walk with him and you find your purpose within him. Clarify, please. You have family issues and lack of passion, the number 4 and the number 19. So for a lot of you, this may have something to do in regards to your family, what you experienced as a child. A lot of times if we're dealing with addictions or toxic patterns and behaviors, it does have to do with what we went through as a child, right? And how we were made to feel or what our beliefs were. I feel here for a long time there has been, you haven't been doing anything for yourself. You've gotten off track and disconnected from the truth of yourself. You're lacking passion. You may have been putting others before you and your family, right? Which I understand, right? Wanting to be there and take care of others, but they weren't exactly doing the same for you. And that's why Spirit is saying, let God in, okay? So now let's move into this earth pulsing. Pulse of the mother, slow down time and nature. Some of you could really be dealing with mother-related issues, healing mother wound traumas, or recognizing where you may have an issue with your mother. And that's why it's important for you to go outside and ground with Mother Earth and connect with that vibration and the frequency that she gives off. Sitting outside with the sun on you, feet in the grass, praying and meditating is life-changing. If you can get to the beach and do it, if you can just anywhere that you can get outside and really center yourself and be at peace is very, very healing and much needed for you. I feel like some of you have been rushing, trying to get something done. and you're not taking a timeout, you're not taking a break. Now, what's interesting here is Mother Earth, right? That's material, that's the foundation. And so then for financial constraints to come out, you have cleanse, and then you have thief. Some of you may have entered into a bad deal or a bad investment here, and money was taken from you. Some money was taken from you that you did not, from somebody you least expected. For some of you, this could even be a child or someone within your family, and it's put you in a really difficult situation. Clarify, please. Earth. Acts. You have breakup, separation, stop the pattern, silent treatment, abandonment. For some of you, there's a couple different energies coming in with this. It's very important for you to look at the type of energy that has been surrounding you, because I feel like it's directly been affecting your finances, your stability, and the foundation for which you stand on and live on. There's also a little bit of integrity that's being involved here as well. There was a lot of lack in this situation that I'm picking up on, and it was causing issues, home issues. People may have not had anywhere to live. There may have been issues with paying bills, rent, finances were being drained somehow for some of you. There was abuse taking place with money as well. Somebody may have been stealing your money, spending your money, or not allowing you to control your money. And there's an energy here of somebody just in general not having control over their life. Something was being dictated to this person. There's also a need here for someone to cleanse their views and perception on money and stability and what it means to be. There's someone here too who has never been responsible before. That's what I'm seeing. Yeah, there's mother wounds that need to be cleared, that could not knowing how to take care of oneself properly. But I also am feeling like somebody was siphoning energy or siphoning money. Like somebody was there's also an energy here of, there's two energies here. Somebody was doing some type of black magic where your finances were being drained and they were benefiting from your financial energy. You guys, if you put on the armor of God every day, Ephesians 6:10, finish, the armor of God, finish that whole little chapter every day. These spells can't affect you. If you believe and walk with God, spells cannot affect you. He can protect you. And it will literally bounce right off of you and go back to the sender. But you have to walk with him and believe in him. And you have to put on that armor of God every single day. And you have to shield and protect yourself. You have noticed the signs. Speak your truth, and the time is now. So you may notice someone. I also am getting like an energy where somebody may be making you, this has to do with finances, point blank, this particular section of this reading. So it may not resonate with all of you, but there's somebody here who has a very low vibrational relationship when it comes to money. Money is directly connected to your spiritual health. It is. Yes, other people can get ahead by using spells, but it doesn't last very long. If you don't have a strong foundation, you're not going to have strong finances. So there's a cleansing taking place. There's toxic energy around you. I feel like you may actually be aware of what's happening. I also feel like if this isn't money related, this could just be in regards to housing and stability, and somebody was still stealing something from you or making you pay more, taking something from you when it came to your foundation. Spirit's asking you to speak up. You see something that isn't right and they're telling you now is the time you need to speak up. And some of you, yep, look at that. What did I say? New home and ending. For some of you, this is about a home situation, a family unit, a foundation, and you want to go. You don't want to live there anymore. You don't want to be a part of this anymore. And then you have deep cellular healing after that. So you're needing to surrender and let go of certain control issues, things that are holding you back, maybe within your family, or if it's not between you and your family, you're being held back and you're not going after your passion and what you want because you weren't taught that, or you were taught in your family that you don't get to live out your destiny. You've got to stay in the fated life, and this is what life is. And you're recognizing and noticing signs and being pulled somewhere else here because you're experiencing a lot of lack where you are. And as soon as you release and move forward, you're going to experience this deep cellular healing, physical and emotional healing. You have indecision to clarify it. Peace came out in reverse and rejection came out upright. That's why you can't make a decision. And then you have pathway. You can't make a decision about whether you want to heal or do you want to stay in the pain. I had this for this particular part popped up in a collective reading. I'll put it on the end, on those videos on the end of this one. Listen, you can't make a decision because you're so fearful of being rejected. And this is going to sound crazy, but this is how I'm going to explain it. What if that rejection is exactly what is needed for you to break out of the box? For God to place you on the path that you need to be placed, for you to wake up and see something. There might be a rejection here. And you feel like if I'm rejected, I'm not going to have peace. I'm not going to make it. That's not true. Because rejection looks like a crossroads to me. And you have pathway and you have indecision. Some of you guys got to change the way you see things. Rejection is divine protection. If something and somebody rejected you, it was because it wasn't going to bring you peace. And you're confused because maybe you want to keep going. Look at this, 35. Look at this, 8 and 8. Why would you want to stay on the same karmic cycle and pattern over and over? Indecision means I'm going to stay with the thing that rejected me and I'm going to hold on to the pain forever and not be able to make a decision because I'm confused and I like that it disturbs my peace, instead of breaking apart that cycle, that 8, breaking it into 2, allowing yourself to, because what's number 5? Big changes, right? Like a tower moment. And a 3 is you planning, preparing your future, making a decision to move in a new direction. So why don't you look at this rejection as a way of God protecting your peace? Because if you go in the direction of the past and the cycles, you're going to lose your peace. But if you see the path in front of you and say, hey, I'm being rejected, that means God's giving me a new opportunity. That's what's going to bring you deep healing. That's what's going to allow you to see things from a higher level. Okay? You're at a crossroads here. Please clarify. Healing, indecision. Thank you. I'm going to take that one even though it fell. Oh, yeah, because that's the only one that came up upright. I can't make this up. It says self-indulgence. Focus on self, self-worth, time to heal, shadow work, self-appreciation. This rejection is for your protection and your decision should be for your peace. Now, if you have already made this decision to move into peace and to release yourself, this is validation. If you're still stuck in this indecision and this confusing energy, know that Spirit is trying to get you to let go of the past. You have a choice to continue on in the same way you've always been that clearly has not been working for you, right? And we all get there. And you know what? For some of you, this may have to do, again, I got to go back to family. This may have to do with your family not wanting you to do something because they don't think it's the right thing for you. But they don't know what's for you. Only you and God know what's for you. Choose you first. Choose you first. What is it that you want? What brings you joy? That's what's going to bring you deep cellular healing. Going after what it is you truly want. Then you have, so the numbers 1, the numbers 18, and the number 19. Look at it, it's the same thing. Confusion. Oops. Confusion. Choose you first. And time for play. You need to lighten up a little bit. If you continue to live your life for what other people want you to be and what other people want you to do, you won't be able to find peace. You're not going to be able to find what it is that you're looking for. You're not going to be able to find the answers that you're looking for when you're watching these readings on YouTube. You know, readers can just show you what you're going through and point you in the right direction, but you have to be the one that when you get off of these readings from YouTube and you hear what the reader said, you have to be the one to shut it off and sit there and dedicate yourself to really going through the process and connecting with God and trying to learn and understand who He is, what He represents, and what He wants to bring into your life. It is a painful process, especially if you haven't had a very good connection with Him in a long time. It's a very painful process because then you have to realize and recognize all the things about yourself that aren't the coolest things at all and that don't make you feel like a good person. But you have to go through them so that you can have some type of understanding of what you need to release and let go of so that you can let the light of God in. That's how He works with us. His powers actually work best in darkness because that's when we can see Him. You need darkness to find the light. You have big picture thinking, Pleiades energy, visionary, inspired ideas. Then you have angel of balance. You also have courtship. You have not enough and heartbroken, as well as separation. You are these wounds, these family issues. For some of you, this is a family that doesn't want you, or your other person's family doesn't want them with you, or vice versa. For others, this is just a lot of differences or maybe cultural differences. And then on a spiritual level, this is you've been going through what you're going through and recognizing what you're recognizing and connecting the dots with your past and your upbringing, your childhood and your family life and all of these family dysfunctions and malfunctions, which they're not, they happened the exact way they were supposed to happen. But you're connecting it all into not only your life and how you interact with other people, but love. And maybe how you self-sabotage or how they self-sabotage, or how you haven't really ever healed the pains in your heart from previous relationships that didn't work out. All of the things that you felt like you lost, right, that have made you lack confidence and lack self-worth. And I think what's very important for you guys to know and remember and live in is that when you're going through this shadow work and these deep, painful emotions come up and you remember things that you've been through and you remember things that people did to you, you don't allow it to make you feel like you're not good enough. It's important in those times that you anchor to the light and say to yourself, okay, this is a lie that's coming up for me to release and heal. Okay, because what can happen for a lot of us is when this energy pops up, we get stuck in it and we get sad and we get depressed. We don't balance the energy out by transmuting it with light. And that's going to bring you into alignment with yourself. You have deep feelings, meditate, and throwing shade, and empathy overload. So there's someone here. There's a separation here between someone. I want you guys to know that if you're connected to somebody and you're healing right now, a lot of you are feeling either they're feeling you guys are both feeling each other's energy, but this throwing shade and empathy overload, those energies that you get that are making you feel less than, not enough, unworthy, and all of that, it's important for you to understand that some of them aren't yours, that you're feeling other people's energies that you haven't cut the cords with, that you're still connected to, right? But when we get other people's emotions and energies sent to us, when we're still connected to them, they don't come to us saying, Susie feels like today. No, it comes to you and it's like, you're a POS. This is what's happened to you. See, people don't even love you. And you think it's your energy. So there's an important message here for a lot of you to understand that if you're going through a breakup, if you're feeling lost, if you're grieving, if you're in a separation, if you're frustrated in your relationships, you have to sit there with your feelings and you need to meditate, because some of this is not yours. You need to cut cords. The Ho'oponopono prayer is amazing. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Repeat those 4 sentences over and over. That's the meditation. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. You will be surprised after a repetition of saying that over and over what you feel like and what takes place inside of you. I cry almost every time, and I've been doing that prayer for years. And almost every time I do it, there's been like a few times where I can get through it without crying. But there's always a new memory. There's always a new trauma. There's always something new that pops up while I'm in the middle of saying that prayer. And I can see it and I can release it and I can hand it over to God. You have the numbers 4444. And then you also have 2 and 11, which is another 4. There's a divine connection here for some of you, but you're needing to align yourself. You're needing to trust in your intuition. You're needing to focus and meditate and heal yourself, because there is something coming towards you that's in alignment, but this is the shadow work that you're dealing with at this time. And as this gets released is when you're going to see that new frequency come into your life. All right, you guys, I'm sending you much love. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye.